Your ass better call somebody.
It's me. It's that BigT. And I'm rolling once again with that HOOP. All right, it is time once again for another edition of the Print Factory, Week 12 edition. As always, me and the Hoopster. I think we're going to be joined by our boy Randone again, C-Dome. It's been good the last couple of weeks. We got good mojo making fun of each other, getting it going. But before we hop into anything, please go into iTunes or Google Chrome Store, wherever you listen to the podcast. Give us a subscribe, leave us a review. We're going to do some sort of promotion where if you send us a screenshot of subscribing, we'll bring someone on, or maybe not on, but we'll read your picks. If you win, we're going to do some sort of promotion where we give you something, some T-shirts, different stuff like that from the Sharp side that we just want to boost the subscribers. A lot of people listen on the RG network, other spots, but not necessarily subscribe to the feed. So if you listen to us and like us, just give us a subscribe over on, again, the Apple Store, Chrome Store, wherever you listen. We greatly appreciate it. We'll send some T-shirts and stuff to someone. We'll do a promotion here next few weeks. But Hoopster, before Randone hops in, we got to talk just for a minute about NBA. What's the deal with these Western standings? I mean, my two teams. I mean, who's 1-2?
Well, let me pull up the standings. You know, I've no.
Pull it up here. Give us an update on who's 1-2.
1-2.
And some records. I want records too.
We got LA and we got Denver. Hot start for your squads.
I mean, what are the records though?
Huh?
What are the records?
Oh, that doesn't matter. They're first and second, but it doesn't matter. Now the Clippers got Paul George and Kawhi. Things are going to be turning for those top two teams rather quickly.
I mean, the Lakers are 11. Are they 11-2?
12-2.
12-2.
I mean, I'm going to take. I can't take the L yet because they started out so hot last year and missed the playoffs.
You keep acting like they're the same team, though.
The only problem now is like there's not as many dominant teams. So, like, even if they do suffer an injury, they probably still will be able to stay.
I mean, they can't survive if one of those two goes down, really.
My main point is going to remain the same, that the Clippers are a far better team, and they will destroy them in any sort
I can't wait.
And you know, the one thing I'm getting so sick of is like this whole thing everyone tweeting about LeBron being like. That's such a false narrative. Like, who was saying he was washed? Can you answer that question?
Tons of people were saying.
I'm still waiting. Like, everyone keeps saying, "Oh, look at LeBron." Everyone's calling him washed. Whoever said he was washed?
The same people that always say Brady was washed. He won another Super Bowl.
You've never. I mean, there hasn't been a decline in production for LeBron. So, like, I could see.
If anything, he's better, right?
Exactly. I said that
he's not more athletic. But he's better as a basketball player.
Yeah,
he's the perfect player right now.
He's still the same. There hasn't been any. It's not like last year he averaged 18 and 7 and 5 assists. Like, he's averaging massive numbers. So there's never a need for people to say he's washed. It's just it's just like a made up thing. So everyone can. Oh, people are saying he's washed looking back. No one was saying he was washed.
I mean, it's okay. You're not a LeBron guy.
I know I'm not.
How do you not like the way he plays? Seriously.
He is.
You're the one that flat out told me he doesn't make people better. He
doesn't. Players around him. Dude, players around him have gotten worse. Like,
this is your worst take ever, by the way.
That's not even an argument.
But he doesn't make people better.
People don't want to play with him for a reason. People don't want to play with him.
Who doesn't want to play with him exactly?
Kyrie didn't want to play with him.
Kyrie didn't want to play with Boston either. Who does Kyrie want to play with?
Dude, he does not make people better. I will stick by that.
This is literally your worst take of all time.
I mean, I will say, I am so willing to admit, LeBron James is the best athlete to ever play in the NBA.
Have you watched him pass? Like, he's the skilled
athlete to ever play in the game. He's faster, stronger, and more physical than anyone to ever play the game. And that's what makes him incredible. It's not necessarily his basketball skill.
Are you out of your mind right now?
I mean, no.
Have you not ever watched the passes? He's one of the best passers.
All these guys do. They all are great passers. Yes. These guys are amazing out there in general. I mean, the talent level in the NBA is phenomenal. They're all doing that stuff.
I mean, those of you listening to this podcast, you gotta please tweet at Hoop and tell them how horrific this take is. I mean, it is so bad. LeBron doesn't make people better. I mean,
but I will say, one thing I think we can agree on, like, how much better is the NBA product than any other sport out there? Like, it is like, to me, I think we both like NFL, right? We both NFL. It. NBA is in a tier of its own, like above everyone else. It is just amazing to watch these guys, to watch these games. Just so fun. It's just fun. It's a fun sport. And then you throw in the DFS element, obviously, which we're involved in. It's like the stone nuts.
A perfect example is like a bad NFL game. Sure, we can watch it here and there. Like a island game, like a Thursday night game, Arizona and San Francisco or something, whatever it is. Like, we can watch it, but I'd rather watch Phoenix and New Orleans last night, which is a garbage NBA game, but you got guys like Brandon Ingram, Devin Booker. Like, it's fun to watch. I mean,
it's fun. Yeah, these guys are just, there's more talent now in the NBA than there's ever been. And it's so fun to watch.
People argue too. That's another bad take people have that I made fun of the Jordan thing playing against the Whiteys, but it was a different era, it is what it is. But people act like it was better then. It was not better then.
It's just different.
It was different. It's not even their fault. What was better in the 90s than is better now?
I think the one thing I think that was a lot better is the game's reffed a lot softer nowadays. I think it would be cool if there was some happy medium, not where you can elbow a dude in the face, but if your point guard goes to the hole and gets knocked down, next possession, you should be able to lay someone on their ass on the other team and not have to worry about getting kicked out of the game or suspended. If they brought back a little bit more of that, I think that would be kind of cool.
Just like you at the Lifetime Fitness, sometimes you gotta lay people out a little bit.
Hoops out there for exercise purposes only.
One more thing with the NBA before we move on, though. The Nuggets have been terrible, but they're 10-3 or 11. What's their record? Do you still got it up?
They're 10-3.
10-3, and they haven't even been good yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's more a product of the fact that there's just not as many.
They just pounded Houston.
Yeah, I just don't think there's many good teams in the NBA. That's why they're able to get away with playing bad. I don't know.
Their roster is still really good though. Their roster is
maybe they're not contending with
well, they're not going to beat the Lakers and the Clippers, but
they might be able
clearly. I think
they might be able to beat your Lakers, but not the Clippers.
Oh God, the Lakers is. I've been a Lakers guy since LeBron, but they're even better than I thought they were going to be. I knew they were going to be good on defense just because. They just have all defenders. When you can run a team out there with Danny Green, Avery Bradley, Bron, AD, and another big that blocks shots, you're just not going to be able to score on them. It's not going to happen. You can't really play fantasy guys against them either, can you?
You can just because it's the NBA and these teams can still score 100 points. But it's something to consider. Yeah, their defense has been great. And I agree. Avery Bradley, Danny Green, and then you got the inside protection with Brow, and then usually McGee or Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard's actually been pretty solid. It's not ideal for DFS purposes, but man, overall though, the NFL or NBA has just been great to start.
All right, let's move on to the football while we wait for him to get here since we got to get going today a little earlier than usual. But let's hop in. Browns, Dolphins. We got 10.5. And how in the world are the Browns are 10.5 point favorites after all the struggle they've had? They got dudes out there hitting other people with helmets. They got it all going on this year. But 10.5 point favorite, 45.5. Everyone's kind of going to be on Cleveland finally this week, I think, with Baker and Beckham and even Chubb, I'm sure. What do you think of this game?
Yeah, it's weird because the Browns have been very disappointing, which we've said basically on every podcast that we've done. I just feel like they've had the hardest schedule for fantasy purposes. They have not had many cupcake matchups this year. They've had a lot of tough matchups. And this is, I think, the first spot where you could potentially see their offense kind of explode. And, these guys are going to be, actually, I don't know. Odell will be very popular for DFS purposes and rightfully so. He should be able to do whatever he wants here against the Dolphins. I just think this is a good spot for them to kind of have a big game, and I think they do against the Dolphins. So I like the Browns in this game, which I'm assuming most people do. I think it's interesting for DFS purposes. Even, I mean, I give you a lot of crap for your Dolphins. I don't mind some of these guys this week.
Yeah, see, you always come to the light a few weeks later than me.
Just because the Browns, their defense, I don't think is all that great, and it's kind of more concentrated offense like Blage. I was kind of Randone was on him last week, and I kind of agreed, and you made fun of him.
He's so bad, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean, he's getting those targets, and that price tag's cheap. He's getting the targets. The usage is there, so I don't mind him.
He had 5 receptions for 8 yards. And the week before, he had 4 for 2.
That's a touchdown, though. I mean, if you're playing on full PPR sites, that's a TD. You get yourself 6 points.
So he's so bad. I just looked at him. He's so bad.
How many targets? Did he have like 8 or 9 targets?
Though. 2 weeks ago, so he played Indy 2 weeks ago, and they beat Indy on the road. He had 20 carries for 43 yards and 4 catches for 2 yards. He got 24 touches for 8 points.
Yeah, I think he's interesting.
Do you think you could get 8 points off 24 touches just out there?
I'd assume. I'd hope so, right?
8 points.
If I was in an NFL game, I'll tell you one thing. I'd be looking to the sidelines every play. I'd be getting my butt over there.
I thought about that one day. We might have even had it on one of these pods where we said, what would be the worst sport to like have to play? You got to play a full game.
Yeah,
it would have to be football, right?
Yeah, there's no hiding. Like you're gonna get pounded. And these guys are so strong, so fast.
Like baseball, you would look stupid batting.
Yes.
But whatever, you could play the field and not completely embarrass yourself. Basketball, you definitely wouldn't completely embarrass yourself. You would look dumb out there, but you're not gonna embarrass yourself.
You can hide a little bit.
Yeah, you can stand in the corner like some people. But football, though, if they hand you the ball, there's nowhere to go.
No, I'd be going feet first.
Yeah, just like Tom Brady.
Yes,
just spiking it into the ground, going feet first.
Oh, that would be tough. But yeah, I mean, the Browns are going to be relatively popular, and it's a tough spot to hate on them. I think they get things rolling a little bit. Odell, like I said, will be probably one of the more popular wide receivers this week, and rightfully so. I mean, the price is down, the matchup's great, so I think he's a strong play this week, and I like the Browns to cover.
Yeah, the nice thing, too, is the public's actually on Miami somehow.
Really?
61% right now.
All right. That makes me feel a little better now.
I like Cleveland a ton. I mean, Cleveland, I agree with you. What if they switched schedules with New England? Like, how different would this year look right now? I'm not saying New England would be bad like Cleveland's been, but, Cleveland could easily have one loss, too, if they had New England's schedule. It's just not even fair how it is sometimes.
I mean, they had a stretch where they played the Ravens, the 49ers. Oh, wow. This is okay. This is bad. Look at this.
Yeah. And the
Ravens, 49ers, Seahawks, and the Patriots. Yeah. 4 straight weeks. Those are
maybe the 4 best teams.
Could potentially be the 4 best teams in football.
Yeah.
They had the Rams when the Rams were playing all right early on.
The Rams are still a tough out anyways. The Rams are a tough team.
They've had to have had the toughest schedule, but it gets easy. And now they got the Dolphins, Steelers, Bengals, Cardinals, so they can. I guess.
And those of you playing the season-long leagues, we don't talk about it much, but the Browns might pay off all those season-long prices because we got playoff times and they play all these easy teams.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Broncos, Bills, ugly game. Bills are 4. The total's 37, which is just tiny in today's NFL. Josh Allen smashed last week. He's kind of I said it to you last week, but he's kind of the Lamar Jackson light type play where no one plays him, but he's got the same rushing upside every single week. So what do you think of this one?
I mean, the Bills, I think, have turned into a pretty easy team to kind of analyze. And, for DFS, we've both been saying it all year. It's Josh Allen, John Brown, and, it finally paid off in a big way last week. I mean, basically every tournament you saw, the winning lineup had John Allen to John Brown, and you can play it every week. And
it's crazy how good John Brown's been. Seriously, you pull up his game log, he's been in double digits every week. His worst week all season was 9.5 points.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, he's just been 100% dependent on the long ball, and obviously that's still his strongest suit, but he's getting some intermediate stuff as well, which, creates a nice floor. So like him, love the Bills in the spot at home. Like, that's a tough place to play. And we've obviously hated on the Bills all season, rightfully so. We can pull up the schedule. I don't think we need to this week. But, we've gone to the schedule quite a bit. They've beat up on the worst teams in football, like the Patriots have. I mean, basically the same schedule as the Patriots.
It's not even fair, is it?
No,
we're 7-3 right now. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the schedule is just, it's wild, like how easy it's been for them. Yeah, the Dolphins it's just crazy. But at home against the Broncos,
another cupcake matchup though.
Yeah, it is.
Denver's D is tough, but it's still a cupcake matchup. You're at home, you got to win.
If the Bills make the playoffs, they're going to get fully exposed, I feel. But this week, it's Josh Allen to Brown, and I like the Bills to cover here.
You know how lopsided it is too? You can always read a line. Buffalo's 7-3, Denver's 3-7. It's in Buffalo. And the spread's 3.5 or 4 points.
Yeah.
Basically Vegas is saying it's close to a pick'em on a neutral field. And you got a 7-3 team versus a 3-7 team.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, that is a really good point. It's on a neutral field. I mean, they're viewing these teams essentially the same. I mean, Bills slight edge. That's, saying a lot for you Bill fans out there. Bills fans, they have some passionate fans, I must say. We don't get a lot of negative feedback from the pod. And that's the one fan base. We've been hard on the Bills. Their fans come to their defense, I'll tell you that much.
It's funny too, because they got Josh Allen. If you would have, a couple years ago, I was mad that the Broncos didn't draft Josh Allen when they got that Chubb guy, I think it was. But if you flip-flop the quarterbacks in this game, and the Broncos had Josh Allen and Buffalo had whoever, Denver, Flacco and Brandon Allen, the Broncos would probably be, honestly, the 7-3 team. It's just, he's that much better than, he's just he makes them solid.
100%.
Let's move on. Steelers, Bengals. We got, the Bengals, they might not win a game all year. We got the Steelers 6.5, 38. I don't know how is this not a touchdown? Pittsburgh's still in contention. We got Pittsburgh at 5-5, which is still in contention. I mean, the AFC sucks. They could easily still get in the playoffs. And the Bengals, they don't want to win. They haven't won a game. Pittsburgh always owns them anyways. How is this spread under 7?
Have you seen their skill players this week?
I do get it. They have nothing either. You're right about that.
I'm surprised it hasn't moved in favor of it hasn't budged, has it? It stayed the same.
Well, I think it opened at 7 originally, but it's only moved a half. And but still, Cincy is terrible.
Yeah, did you see Rudolph? How bad he is? I don't know.
Is he concussed still from getting hit in the dome piece?
I'll once again say how impressive it is that he stayed on his feet after that shot. It did not faze him. Must have been the exact perfect spot of the helmet that hit him, because he just energized him. It was weird.
Look at the skill players in this game. Good Lord.
Yeah, it's tough, but there's going to be some value because of it. I mean, there's projected score of 40 points essentially, and the Steelers are without their 2 best skill players. So you're going to have to take a look at some of these guys. Vance McDonald's been terrible, but they're going to need someone. Washington, Deontay Johnson. Cheap guys to consider for DFS. You got the squeaky wheel narrative with Tyler Boyd. I play Tyler Boyd basically every week, so I'm sure I'll be back.
Gets there for
never gets it. It seems like the spot. I mean, he was complaining about not getting the ball, and it looks like they might have some injuries too. I think Auden Tate's questionable, so they could be very thin at wide receiver. So he could be a guy to consider for value.
Everyone should play Boyd this week, because I'm finally not going to play him. I'm going on record. I'm done with him. So if you want to laugh at me come Sunday,
you got the squeaky wheel narrative though. You might want to reconsider. One last chance.
Pittsburgh D's good though.
One last chance. Come on.
No, I'm done with him.
Don't cross him off yet. It's only Friday. It's only Friday. You got time.
It's in the major league. He gone. Cross him. That guy there's dead. Cross him off then.
But I like the Bengals in this game. I mean, the Steelers.
Oh, no. You like the Bengals? No.
I like them a lot. I just can't believe it hasn't moved with all the injuries. Look at the skill players.
I don't
care. The Steelers. You don't care?
Not on D. They're not injured on D.
That's fine. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think
definitely not going to be high scoring.
17-13 or something like that's very realistic.
Don't take the Bengals.
Actually, I actually like them a lot.
Oh, God.
At home, they're going to get up for one game. They're going to get the fans. No, they're not.
They are so bad.
They're going to win out and get me my over on my Bengals team.
He did like them coming in. What about Samuels, though? We got to like him this week, right?
Yeah, him. I mean, the one concern
he's only projected 5% owned on DraftKings.
Well, the issue was before when he was smashing that Snell guy was out as well, so they really didn't have anyone. But they've been giving the Snell guy some mark, and I don't know. I could see it being a more of a split, but I think Samuels is still a strong play. Just that pass catching is.
Snell hasn't played in like 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think he's a strong play. I do. I agree.
I mean, he's going to catch like 10 balls, right? Like we always like, man, he's priced up a little. If he's 5% though against a running back against the Bengals with everyone else out,
best matchup.
There's no way he ends up 5%. That's got to be low.
I'd assume it'd be higher. Yeah.
I mean, if I can get him 5%, that's a tasty little treat there.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We got Raiders, Jets. The Raiders. Well, what is the Raiders? Right, the Raiders are 6-4 somehow. The Jets are on a 2-game win streak too. So this game, the Raiders are -3 on the road, 46.5. I think the Jets are better than the Raiders, honestly. Like I just don't like the Raiders. What do you think of this game?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you here. I like the Jets. I mean, seems like it's one of those perfect spots. Home team getting points, 3 points here. You know, they're getting 3 at home against the Raiders. I don't care. I mean, I'll sink my ship with saying I don't think the Raiders are very good. Like, they've won in some spots I thought they were going to lose, but, I could see the Jets, you know, doing well here. And yeah, it's weird. Like their season's clearly done, but like you said, they've, looked a little bit better as of late. And, I like them here getting the points at home for DFS purposes. Just about nothing for me. I mean, maybe Jacobs, but I think I like other running backs a little bit better. Waller potentially, but it's more tournament stuff here. I mean, Robbie Anderson. I mean, we talked about Robbie Anderson last week, and he did end up.
You have to like Crowder. No way you don't like Crowder.
I mean, I like him when he's cheaper. I mean, the price is coming up.
Though.
I played him a lot. What's the price?
He scored 18, 19, and 22 the last 3 weeks. He's got 8+ targets. It looks like basically he gets targets, and he's a machine.
Well, here's the problem. Maybe do you see the price tag?
No, what is he, 6K?
Yeah, now he's 6'2".
Yeah, he's going to get like 18 points, though.
That's tough, though, 6'2".
And he's 2% owned. This might be my week. I mean, all these guys I like are low owned. 2% versus the Raiders?
That's a big price tag.
Yeah, a big price tag for a big cheese that's coming in when you play him.
Well, the one thing we do agree on is we both like the Jets.
The Raiders suck. We agree on that too. Like they almost lost to the Bengals last week. The Bengals were in that game. Did they have no, that was the Broncos game, but the Bengals were in that game late to where they had chances to freaking end in that.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We got Giants. Oh man, another thing we agree on. The Bears. Whoo, they look bad. They have completely fallen off the rails, but we got the Giants, Bears. The spread right now is somehow the Bears are -6. 39.5 is the total. I think I heard today Trubisky is in this week, right? Not that it even matters, but
I think it's. I mean, I think it's pretty clear at this point they're better with him not being their starting quarterback. He's awful.
I agree. Like he's just not the one. He's not a quarterback. He's getting benched for a lifetime backup.
Yeah.
In this game, so this slate this week is kind of different than past weeks where you have a lot of ugly games this week. Like what do we got? We got how many under 40 totals? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got like 4 totals that are super, super low. We only got 1 total that's real high on the slate. It's a random slate where I still don't think you should play anyone in this game though. Like people keep playing Saquon.
No.
I don't understand why though. He hasn't really done anything and the Bears D is still fine. Like he's not going to go out and just put up massive numbers against the Bears D.
No.
Anyone in this game?
No, not for DFS. I mean, if you want action on this game, I think it's clearly take the Giants. I mean, I just don't think the Bears are 6.5 points better than anyone in the NFL. I get they have a pretty good home field advantage usually, but that really hasn't played a factor this year. So give me the Giants. I mean, to me the number, it just seems a little bit too big. Actually, I mean, to me, maybe 3.5. I don't know. It's just
Bears are so bad.
They're terrible. Like, this is too big of a number. 6.5. Nothing for DF. I mean, man, Barkley's, he's looked bad. I mean, maybe it's the play calling and all that, but the 1 week I did play him, he had the 13 rushes for like 1 yard, and he's got to pop. I mean, really, he's got to pop a big play. He's one of those guys. Like, he's not steadily picking up yards for the most part. He's got to pop a big play to pay off, and they haven't been there like they were last season. So, nothing for DFS. Giants plus 6.5. I do like.
I always throw these crappy plays out there, but the Giants, are all these tight ends out where this Caden Smith? If Caden Smith starts at tight end, I think this is that dude from Stanford that crushed for me a few years in college.
Yep.
He's 2,500. We always throw out the just dead cheap tight ends. I don't mind him. But
I know. Yep.
Are those tight ends for sure out?
Yeah, they ruled them out. Yep.
Yeah, I like that call. But let's move on. Saints-Panthers. We got the Saints bounce back after that tough loss. They play again Atlanta on Thanksgiving. I can't wait for that game. But
yeah,
this week the Saints are minus 10, 47. Have we finally found a spot where we don't have to play McCaffrey is the question.
Potentially, because the value this week, it's not there for the most part, like it's been the past couple weeks, where I know you and I have both advocated to jam in.
And it's
McCaffrey.
worked.
Yeah, and it has worked. It worked. I mean, I was actually surprised how many people did not play him last week. I thought
tons in cash even.
Yeah. I was pretty pleasantly surprised because it worked out for me.
And no other running backs did anything.
Yeah. And it was easy to get him last week. It was very easy. We had the value. On FanDuel, you had all those wide receivers that were under 6K. On DraftKings, we had some cheap plays, so you could easily get them in, and people chose not to. This week, though, it's a little bit different. The value's not there. The matchup's much tougher. I mean, it's incredible that he got there despite how bad the Panthers team was as a whole. Like, Josh Allen was absolutely terrible.
He didn't even score either.
Not Josh
crazy.
Allen, Kyle Allen, sorry.
Yeah.
He didn't score and still gets the 30 on DK. It was pretty incredible. But this week it's tougher. The value's not there. The matchup's not as good, definitely not as good. I mean, the Saints defense is pretty solid. I like the Saints in this spot. I mean, how does Kyle Allen bounce back after that performance last week? Like, this is not the bounce back spot that you want. So definitely it's harder. I'm not saying you can't play McCaffrey. You definitely can. He can get there in tough matchups. He can get there. When they're 10-point underdogs, he can still get there. So I think you can still play him, but it's tougher this week, and the matchup's not as good on the Saints side. It's kind of just turned into two guys, and it's Alvin Kamara and it's Michael Thomas, the best wide receiver in football. I mean, they both continue to do it week in and week out, and you have to like them both here. I mean, Thomas just so safe every week. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, last week my whole strategy was to play both of these guys. And to be honest, I mean, I played a ton of John Brown too, which helped, but I didn't have the best week, but I made money just because I played Thomas and McCaffrey.
No, honestly, if you played Thomas and McCaffrey, you probably made money last week.
His worst week all season is 16.4 fantasy points.
You don't see that from wide receivers.
We talk about this all the time too. Like, sure, if he gets 16 this week, we're not happy and it's kind of a bust. But that isn't ending your week anyway.
You're not dead with that.
I mean, and he's got just a massive floor. I kind of want to play McCaffrey again. I mean, he's still projected 25. He's going to be low owned too because people don't play running backs in this spot. If they get down, he could catch 10 balls. I mean, his floor is
easily
in the 20s too. So I know it's hard, like always, to play these two, but, man, it looks pretty tasty. Let's move on to the most interesting game of the week fantasy-wise. I think it's the highest. I'm pretty sure it's the only total in the 50s, right?
Yep.
We got Atlanta, who has suddenly, I mean, we made fun of them. I'll take the L on this. They were 1-7. They looked like the worst team in football. And then all of a sudden they changed who calls the plays on defense. They shut out back-to-back teams on the road. Now they go home to play an offense that's been good all year in Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay offense has been incredible. And Atlanta's favored by 4 and the total's 51. I just can't wait to see how people treat this game because Jameis against this defense that's crushed seems like a disaster to me, but it's the only high total of the week. So what do we do?
Such an interesting game, like from every aspect. I mean, you and I, and everyone actually, I mean, we don't need to take L's on that. Everyone was saying.
How did they turn it around though? Seriously. Yeah. I mean, they didn't just win these games. Like, they demoralized 2 straight.
You don't see it happen, ever. I mean, a team that, like we said, for the last 10 years, always been in contention, always, solid team for the most part, over the course of the last 10 years, completely fall apart, awful start to the season. And then out of nowhere, their defense plays probably the best in the NFL for 2 straight weeks. They get two big wins. Their offense looks great. They're going to play hard. You know that. And these guys are going to be popular this week. Matt Ryan, Julio, Calvin Ridley, the one guy that did not, make people happy last week was Brian Hill. That was a complete disappointment, disaster. The cheap.
I got lucky on him. At the last second, I just decided I was going to fade. But it didn't work out because Sanders sucked too.
Well, yeah. I mean, running back was tough last week. There wasn't many standout spots. But, man, I kind of have to buy the Falcons this week. I mean, if they play anywhere close to what they've done the last 2 weeks, they should smash the Bucs here. It's an interesting one. It's definitely, I mean, logic would say if you're basing everything off them being a new team, you should take the Falcons and you should take the under in this game because their defense has been so good.
It's going to be so interesting too if they do shut down Tampa and then we got that Thanksgiving slate everyone loves where they play New Orleans again, coming off 3 straight dominant showings. It's confusing. It's got to be one of the more confusing spots I've seen in the last 5 years.
It's a cool storyline, honestly. It's cool to.
You wouldn't be surprised though if Tampa goes in there and scores 40 either.
No, honestly, you could say anything, and you just have to go for it. I don't know. It's a tough read.
Yeah, it's super interesting for sure. Let's move on. We got they moved that other game, but we got Lions, Redskins. Redskins, man. Whew. So first of all, we got the Lions 3.5, 41's the total. Last week on my main tournament team, I played this freaking Haskins and McLaurin, and somehow this guy had literally the worst game I've ever seen in my life. He was so horrific. And somehow he got to 18 points, though, to save and make me some money just because I had McCaffrey and Thomas with him. But he fought to get 18. I mean, this guy is horrifically bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how Detroit doesn't go in there and dominate.
Yeah, it's a scary week when Big T and Hoop are agreeing on basically everything. But to me,
that means we're going to win all the money. Whenever we agree, we roll.
This is one of my favorite spots because the Lions aren't much worse. Actually, they might be bad. I mean, Driscoll's actually looked good. He's looked solid. He looked solid. So, I'm not worried about the quarterback play. So if I assume, Stafford, Driscoll are somewhat close, it should be. I mean, the 2 games they lost it wasn't because of Driscoll. I mean, they played the Cowboys, tough team, and they had, I think it was the Vikings, right?
Yeah, they had a few tough ones. That sounds right.
Yeah, they lost to the Bears, so that's not a good one. But Driscoll started, he found out he was starting 30 minutes before the game started or whatever it was.
And they still almost won that game. That was on the road, too. They played fine that game. They weren't bad at all there.
Yeah, this is the spot. Lions. I this could end up being my whale play. I love the Lions here in the spot.
I don't see how they don't kill them. I honestly don't see it.
Haskins is missing like bad on like 5-yard passes, like dump off. He was like 10 yards off with the pass. Like he's not ready to. I mean, maybe down the road he'll be.
He was
solid.
the worst player I've ever seen in my life last week, and I had him on my key teams. Like it was.
So you watched it all.
I watched every play. He was horrific. Yeah. That was the luckiest 18-point game I've ever seen in my life. Like I was so happy. I couldn't believe it when he got 18. That's how bad he was.
Usually when Hoop and Big T agree, good things happen. So it could be a good week.
Yeah, we're gonna roll. I mean, what can we do about Detroit though? Obviously we can play Driscoll. Can we play Scarborough? This dude that was getting all the work last week?
I don't know, just because how hesitant they've been to consistently give one running back all the work. Like I think you just kind of stay away, but could have another big game. It's risky though.
All right, let's hop on to the next one. Oh, this is going to be great. I forgot about this. I'm giving my game of the year this week.
Oh.
Not only just a whale.
I got to look at this.
100 dimer, freaking game of the year from Big T. Eagles Seahawks. The line opened at 3. It's down to 1. The total's 48. Seattle's looked incredible all year. Philly is so banged up and injured. First of all, I'm going to let you tell me what you think of this game first.
Definitely. I think the Seahawks are. I've liked the Seahawks fan all season. I think they're definitely a superior team. So I would take the Seahawks in this game. I don't like the Eagles. I don't like what I'm seeing out of the Eagles. And the only bright spot on the Eagles team has kind of been Ertz. Aguilar's terrible. Sounds like they're going to be without Alshon again this week, and they're just playing just an awful brand of football. I've not much interest in anyone on that team outside of Ertz. Sounds like the Seahawks will have Lockett this week. They will have Josh Gordon. They will have, obviously Metcalf as well. So, I'm on the Seahawks here. I'm guessing that's where you're going, maybe.
That's not where I'm going. Eagles fly, baby. They look good last week. They couldn't move the ball on that New England defense, but their defense, they've got healthy in that defensive backfield. I think the Eagles are just a complete stone lock this week. Game of the season.
Did you see they looked good last week?
They played New England tough, man, on the road, or was it at home?
It was at home.
They played
their offense the Eagles and they didn't cover. I took the Patriots like always, and they covered like always.
I lost, yeah. I mean, I lost that one, but
you're pretending like you didn't.
No, I said I lost it. I said they played good, though. I thought they played
good. They put up 10 points and couldn't move the freaking ball. That was a painful watch. Just retract that statement.
No, their defense got healthy, though. Their D looked good. This is my game of the year. Like, I'm going all in on it. We finally got freaking Randone here. I mean, this guy was in the freaking YouTube streets. I mean, we're almost done, and this guy hops on just to give winners. You only got 3 games. You got here just in time to hear my game of the year, though.
Oh man, I'm excited. Sorry, fellas. Instagram ads, they can get a little time consuming.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous. I mean, we get it.
Nah, man. But yeah, I'm excited to hear about this game of the year.
I just got done talking about it.
Tony just got caught in a lie. No big deal. Talking about how the Eagles. He said you loved the Eagles because they played so well last week. They looked like dog shit last week.
They played fine last week. That was versus the Pats.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't you pick the Eagles to win?
Thank you. That perfect timing. Thank you. This guy was pretending like they didn't lose or something.
It's
really bizarre.
Hey, the whale play of the week, the Cardinals taking it down, baby.
Thank you.
How about first? We got to talk about this now that Randone's here. How about this guy that comes after us on Twitter? And one of his reasons was he said, "You guys said Arizona would win outright." This was the dumbest guy I've ever heard in my life. You guys, I wasn't on this train either. I'll give you guys both the credit. You said Arizona would win outright. They were up 3 with 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
This is all-time level bad beat. Up 3, getting 10. It ended up going to 10.
Yeah.
So they were up 3. They gave up 2 touchdowns in the last 30 seconds on the old fumble freaking backwards play. And then this guy has the balls to come in and say that was, I still can't believe it. He made fun of that pick.
Yeah. I mean, they covered though. So
exactly.
I think that's all that matters. But hey, they were leading a majority of that game. They were up, 15, 16?
They outplayed them. You guys deserved it. You guys called it. I give you credit.
The 49ers are so fraudulent. It's ridiculous. They've ran so good this year. They ran so good. They ran so good in that Seahawks game. Like that's one thing me and Randone have agreed about the last few weeks. Like they're just, they're not good. They're good, but they're not as good as people think.
They'll get the first round exit treatment in the playoffs.
Correct.
I mean, they'll probably get a bye. They might get a bye, and if they do, they'll lose that round to whoever. I mean, Dallas would probably play them. Dallas will beat them. Green Bay would beat them. I mean,
we're going to get to that game in a minute because they're going to beat Green Bay, but we'll get to that. Anyways, my play of the year though, Randone, is the Eagles over Seattle this week. I'm sure you love Seattle too. No way you don't love Seattle.
This game, man. You really want my honest opinion?
Well, no shit. Yeah, of course we do.
Man. Yeah, there's no shot Philly wins.
There we go. I like it. That's what I wanted to hear.
I just don't see it, man. Listen, everyone's on Miles Sanders too, and I don't get it. I mean,
I can't wait to play him.
I think we saw the Patriots. They defensively schemed up against making sure Miles Sanders didn't beat them in the passing game, and they did a great job at neutralizing him. I see that happening again. I think they try to force our man Carson Wentz to throw, and I think Dallas is just a better team, man. Russell Wilson's not going to want to lose this game. There's no shot that he loses this game.
Yeah, I like it. It's my game of the year. I want both of you bastards against me, so I like that. Let's move on to these two afternoon games. Two kind of ugly games, too. Let's start Titans, Jags. Tennessee's 3.5, 41.5. Super ugly. It sucks there's only two games in the afternoon, and they're both ugly. It makes the main slate a little tricky. Hoop, what do you think of this game?
Well, yeah, it's not a fun game for DFS purposes. And you can make the case for Leonard Fournette and his workload. You can make the case for Derrick Henry and his workload, but I don't see myself necessarily going that route. I do have some interest in the Titans, though, minus the 3 at home. I mean, they're a tough team to kind of project and get right, especially when you're picking with or against the points. But I like them here, minus the 3. I definitely want to take the Jags plus 3 on the road, so take the Titans.
See, Dome.
This game is really ugly. I like the Jaguars here, though. I just trust the running game for the Jaguars a little bit more to help them. I just think that all they have is Henry. I just don't like Tannehill as much. Maybe Nick Foles gets a little bit more together here this second game. He's got a great weapon in DJ Shark and D.D. Westbrook. So Westbrook was disappointing last week. I know a lot of people were on him. A majority of the volume went to DJ Shark. But overall team, I like Jacksonville here for a little bit of an upset, plus 3. I'd rather take the points than lay 3 with the Titans.
Like it. Let's move on. We got the good afternoon game. New England finally has to play someone, but of course they're freaking at home like always when they have decent spots. You got New England 6.5, 45. Dallas obviously going into New England. Hoop, what do you think?
Yeah, it's just scary how many games I like this week. I mean, this is one of the easiest ones on the slate. Cowboys.
Yes, you like New England.
Why would I not? They cover basically every week, so of course I'm going to like New England. Cowboys, a little bit fraudulent, I still think. I mean, to me, when they play bad teams, they look good. When they play good teams, they look bad. So the Patriots are a good team. The Patriots are at home, and they're favored by less than a touchdown. So sign me up for the Patriots for sure. The interesting news here, though, is the Patriots wide receiver situation. A lot of injuries, so I need to kind of monitor that. Could be some value that potentially opens up. Obviously, you can go to the security of Edelman as well. So that's kind of some big news heading into Sunday.
See, Dome, what do you think?
Oh, man. I respect the Patriots as I have all year. I think phenomenal team and their defense is incredible. I just think a 6.5 point spread is a little bit too much. I think Dallas has the offense to at least keep it close. The one thing I'm worried about is I am concerned about the Patriots offense. If you've looked at what they've done over the last few weeks, they've really been non-existent. That the running game is nowhere to be found as compared to where we saw in the first few weeks of the season. And I think them not having a running game, it puts a lot of pressure on Brady to try to make some plays. And what we're seeing a pass rush. A pass rush get to him from the Ravens, made him a little bit uncomfortable, made a lot of kind of a lot of inaccurate throws. Same thing happened with the Eagles where a lot of pressure was on him, couldn't get the ball out. And I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas doesn't kind of come with that same game plan. But 6.5 points, man, Dak Prescott is just playing way too good, and they do have an incredible running back. So I think Patriots win, but I think it's more of like a maybe 21-17. I just don't see how the Cowboys don't cover here if it's at 6.5.
I'll tell you how they don't cover if they continue to give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott, who is fucking terrible.
I like it. I like when you guys butt heads instead of jerk each other off the whole time.
Hey, I mean, the thing is it's going to take him 25 carries to get to 100 yards. So his yards per carry is down. I agree. I mean, he's not the same, but Dak Prescott's on a different level right now when it comes to how that offense is being run. So I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what to make of this game, but I just think 6.5 is just a little bit maybe too much. Just because I haven't seen a lot of production out of this New England offense, and I think that's what scares me the most.
You know, Tony's got to be struggling here because he hates both these teams.
I'm definitely not picking this game. I hate this game.
we need it.
You're right.
We got to hear it.
I hate Dallas so much. Like, if I was going to pick, it'd be New England for sure.
Wow, I don't think you've ever picked the Patriots.
It hasn't been
I don't think you've ever picked the Patriots. That's how
I
much
really
you
don't
hate.
think
That's how much
I'm
you
not
hate
picking
money.
them this week either.
That is how much you hate giblets or whatever you call them. You won't pick the Patriots.
Before we get to the night game, we got to circle back real quick to make fun of Randone about his boy Balaj. 24 touches 2 weeks ago, 8 points, friggin' 15 touches or something this week. He gets in the box and still only scores 12?
It was unreal.
8 targets, though.
Dude, you know what? I mean, I don't know what to make out of that game because I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. But
Randone takes the victory lap when he's got 8 carries for 0 yards and scores the TD.
Because
Did you take a victory lap? No, you didn't.
He got on there.
Oh, no.
He got on there.
Listen, I was talking shit because all these people were on Brian Hill saying that this guy's incredible, it's a must play. And I thought it was hilarious that Balaj didn't even have a yard and he was still out.
He doesn't even have a yard.
That is true.
He had a touchdown and negative 2 yards running.
He's negative. Yeah, negative 2 yards and a TD, so he's got a touchdown. He's got less than 6 fantasy points.
You hurt me.
So, I mean, of course I had to take a victory lap because my guy wasn't doing anything, but he was outperforming Hill by a mile and not doing anything. So it was just incredible what we were seeing.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yo, he had 5 catches for 8 yards.
That isn't. I mean, no. Me and Tony were talking about that before. That's another touchdown, though. You know, that's 6 points.
It's true,
and he's cheap as shit.
It's true. I'll take that all day.
Let's get to these last 2 games. We got the night game should be a good one. We were just talking about it. 49ers, Packers. We got right now the 49ers are 47.5. Feels like a huge total for a San Francisco game too, which says a lot about Green Bay and San Francisco. Hoop, what do you think?
Yeah, that total is a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. That kind of leads me to believe that this could be a high-scoring game, which for me, I mean, that favors the Packers quite a bit. So I'm going to continue to hate on the Niners. I'm assuming C-Dome is going to agree with me here. And
he definitely likes Green Bay. No way C-Dome likes the Niners here.
I mean, I like the Packers, obviously, but the fact that this total is that high makes me like them even more. So give me the points in this game for sure. I mean,
why couldn't we have Devontae Adams on the main slate? Like, he's going to crush this week.
Yeah, I'm on the Packers for sure here.
C-Dome, what do you think?
Oh, man, give me all the Packers, yeah. There's just no doubt that, oh, man, Aaron Rodgers in this matchup I love a lot. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think more so for the Packers side. They have a ton of weapons offensively that I don't think San Fran is going to be able to really contain. I love the dual threat of Williams and Jones. I'm ready for this showdown slate, man, because I'm gonna stack the Packers heavy in this. So I love it. I'm Packers with the spread, but I do like the Packers to beat them straight up.
Love it. Let's move on. Monday Night Football. Oh man, I love this game too. Oh, this is gonna be a good week. I'm going 5-0 this week. I'm calling it, but we got Baltimore, everybody's darling team, going to the Rams, who looked awful on Monday night or Sunday night, whenever they played. Spread's 46.5. I absolutely love the Rams here. Can't wait to take the Rams. Who? Tell me why you love Lamar Jackson.
Well, I mean, Lamar Jackson's obviously amazing, but it does feel like kind of like a trappy type spot. So I usually fall for these spots, and I'm tempted to do so again. It just feels too
80%
trappy.
on Baltimore already.
Yeah, it just feels this just to me feels way too trappy. Like Ravens have looked like the best team in football. Monday night game on the road against the Rams team that's disappointed all season. I think I have to agree with you and go the Rams just because it just seems like just too trappy of a spot, and it might be. So I'm going to take the Rams. Don't feel great about it, but it just seems like a weird spot.
See, Dome, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree actually in this situation. I think it is.
We got all three of us on the same side?
Here's the thing. Traveling the West Coast, this defense has been so much better since Jalen Ramsey came through. It's a completely different defense than what we saw in the first few weeks of the season. What they're going to do, they don't have a lot of weapons offensively outside of Jackson that scare me from a wide receiver aspect. And I feel like with the way that this pass defense now is playing real tight man coverage, guys over the top, I think they're going to really try to neutralize Jackson. I think this might be his toughest test defensively come this Monday night. And I think the Rams do pull out a victory, actually. The only thing that scares me about the Rams is this lackadaisical offense. I don't know what's going on with them. But, outside of that, though, I think this is a trap for Lamar. I think this is going to be a tough test where I don't think he prevails.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, too. Like, I didn't think about the under until you were talking, but the under might be just a great play, too, because the only way I think the Rams lose is if they just don't score, because their offense is terrible right now.
Well, that's what happens when you give big money to Jared Goff and Todd Gurley.
Yeah. And Woods has some personal thing going on where he might miss again too.
Yeah.
And if Woods doesn't play and they literally have to just run up the middle every play again like last week, they're in trouble. I don't care who they're playing against. So, the total's already gone from 49 down to 46.5. The under might actually be an even better play. I like the Rams, but I like those points because, man, it could end up being super low scoring, I think. All right, boys, let's make some picks. Let's pick some winners this week. I think we did do good last week. We all went 3-2 looking at it. That's good for us. I went 1-4 like 8 straight weeks, so I'm happy to go 3-2.
I'll take the W.
Yeah.
This week though, let's string it together this week. Let's get what do we got? 5. I'll go 5-0. You guys can go 3-2. So that's 11-6. What kind of math is that, anyways? 11-6.
Neither of us objected, so you went past us.
5-0 and 3-2 and 3-2, and I said 11-6. Come on, that's terrible.
11-4.
Hoop, what do we got?
Man, I have so as we're going on, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got 8, but I'll narrow it down. I feel good about this week.
You can give your 5 and then give your 3 leans, and then when you go 8-0, you'll have ultimate bragging.
Yeah, it's gonna feel good. The Bills for sure. I really like the Bills. Like the Bills, like the Bengals.
Oh, no, you better get that into one of the teams.
The Bengals?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
What?
Getting 6.5 at home. Steelers guys are all beat up.
Yeah, you missed that part.
God, bro.
I might take them to win outright, actually. I might go.
I think the Steelers D will outscore the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, see, there we go. That's
Tyler Boyd season, boys.
Oh.
Tyler Boyd season. The Jets. The Lions for sure. We both really like the Lions. Definitely the Lions. And the last spot, gotta go. Oh,
where's your whale?
Whale is the Lions. I gotta take the Patriots. That's just too easy. Patriots.
What about
the bonus league? Ones? The bonus ones are going to be the Browns, Giants, and Packers. 8-0. Let's go.
All righty. See Dome.
Oh, man. All right. Let's go. I'm going to go with my first pick. I'm going to take Buffalo at home against Denver.
Oh, I like it. -4.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Falcons at home against the Bucks.
Yeah, that should be a fun game. We talked about that one for a while. That should be an interesting one.
Yeah, to be honest with you, as everyone's on, this Bucks offense, but something's changed with this Falcons D the last 2 weeks, and I don't know if I'm willing to bet against that right now. So I'm curious to see.
We talked about that.
That's kind of what we talked. That's kind of what we both kind of said. I mean, that's you don't see it happen very often, but something changed. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to like, all right, they had a great week, but then to come out and do what they did last week against Carolina and shut down that passing game. I'm just
no touchdowns in 2 weeks on the road. That's crazy.
Impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah, so I really like the Falcons there. I like the Raiders at New York. I like that. I like Seattle at Philly, and then for my whale play, I like the Redskins against the Lions.
Ooh. Oh, you went against us.
Yeah.
Mr. Haskins, you guys got whales against each other? I like whales against each other.
Yeah.
He's got Detroit for the whale. You got Washington for the whale.
Yep. Trap spot.
For my picks, it sucks this week too because I've been killing these teasers, and there's no teaser games this week somehow. The first week all year, no games fall into that line where you can take a teaser, which sucks because I like giving those out. But here's my 5 picks. Rams +3. Green Bay +3.5, Detroit -3.5, Cleveland -10.5, and the game of the year, boys, Philadelphia -2. That's like up there with my Nats to win all those playoff games. No way Philly's losing this week. No chance.
Oh my God, dude, that's not. Oh my God, you're such a gambler.
No chance they lose.
How's that like? You're going to bail on them next week, or your Eagles? Like you picked the Nats to get there and then completely bailed on them?
You're going to say I didn't win all the money in the playoffs?
You bailed on them.
No, I bailed on them to start the World Series, which I said, and then I got back on them when they were down 2-0. Don't be saying – I always admit when I pick wrong stuff. I didn't pick – I crushed those playoffs. Don't be hating.
Oh, it's a big take.
Ask Randone, who kept trying to bet against me, and I kept feeling him.
Well, it just kind of reminds me of like when the NBA playoffs started.
Oh, here we go. The same take.
You pick like your 5 teams, they all get bounced in the first round, and the next thing you know, big T's on like 3 different teams.
This is like you guys where you talk about all my cheap guys I like. Like, it's just the same bad joke.
Well, at least you're not like touting the lowest team total this week, so you should at least feel good about that.
See, that's what I mean. Randone wasn't here either when we were talking about how the 2 teams I like, the Lakers and the Nuggets, are in first and second. And you said the Lakers were going to miss the playoffs.
Oh, still early, bud. A lot of time.
Randone, did you know the Lakers are 12-2?
I mean, I'm a huge Lakers fan, so of course I know that. And their defense is absolutely outstanding as well.
Do you think they're going to miss the playoffs?
I agree with that. Did you think they were going to miss them last year, Tony?
Oh, I didn't think LeBron was going to miss 30 games either. They were like the 3rd seed before he got hurt.
You have to admit that was just an impressive call. Like you still are refusing.
That's because LeBron got hurt.
But all these guys Kawhi Leonard sat out 30 games last year for rest purposes, and they won the title. So that argument is.
I mean, are you gonna take the L when they make the playoffs this year since you're taking the victory last year?
Well, I mean that's like an outlandish like siege type take that I produced. So
I produced.
That's like,
so it's a siege take this year.
Yeah, if you make a take that is siege level, you don't have to take the L because it's expected. Like any take from siege, you expect the L, right?
What was that take Randone had the other day when I said he sounded like siege? What was he?
Oh, what was that?
What was he talking about? I can't remember either. I told him he sounded like siege though.
We gotta dig that out of the archives. We need that.
Oh, I know he remembers. When did I call you siege, C-Dome?
I forget. I'm trying to think if it was Man.
Tristan was like 80%.
Oh, yeah, that was brutal.
No! Listen,
and you were talking about matchups from like 12 years ago on there.
No, listen, that's a real thing, though, to some degree. If you watch that game and you look back and watch the games prior to that, they kind of have so many similarities.
That take was so bad that you're breaking up in the middle of it. I think you just lost connection. That take was so bad.
They're hacking.
I love that he's gone right now. This is the best. The take just froze. He is gone.
You got cut off.
I wish everybody had the video because it was such a bad take that his face is frozen on our screen right now.
Now he's back.
Oh, that was the best, C-Dome. It was such a bad take that you froze.
Hey, no.
Oh, that's great.
Sometimes when you're on fire, you put out you have to fuse a couple things. So yeah.
Oh, that's great stuff.
Yeah, that was, that was great.
All righty, boy. We got to talk about, Dome, so you're starting a YouTube channel, right? Tell us about it before we get out of here. Did this guy freeze again?
Yeah, he's done.
Okay. We'll get his input next time, but it was fun, Hoopster. Let's have a good weekend. Let's pick some winners.
Yeah, it's scary. It's a scary week, though. I mean, you and I agree on a few too many things.
This guy's back again now.
He's back again. We're trying to plug your operation.
Dude, yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. Crystal's filming in the other room. She's fucking with the Wi-Fi. I don't know.
You got to get some more megs or whatever. You got to take your game up. If you're going to have 2 YouTube channels in the household, you got to take your game up a little bit here.
No. So the YouTube channel is going to be fun, man. It's going to be, we're going to be doing a lot of vlogging. So a lot of like personal insight, health, life, DFS. It should be fun, man. I'm excited for it.
When are we getting an invite on there? Are we going to, when do we get the call?
First off, we're going to do a trip. I suggest we go to Vegas and we do a vlogging, in-depth vlog where we go through sweats, like live action, just, get that real content, that raw content.
Is that where the basketball game's going to take place too?
Oh yeah, that's another episode that we'll do for sure.
Another episode? Yeah. You better not start it out with that because we don't want to embarrass you on your own feed starting out.
No. That's going to be like midway through once we get a lot of subscribers.
Yeah, see, taking Tony's advice in stride.
Well, I want hundreds of thousands to see Tony get humiliated in basketball. So. Big T is the Robert Tractor Trailer.
Oh, here we go.
We're more concerned about Hoop and
oh, here we go for sure now. Oh.
His name is Hoop. Like, why wouldn't you consider that?
Exactly.
That means he gets buckets, and we're kind of nervous about that.
You should be nervous, but not because of Hoop.
I knew you were going there.
You just called me Robert Tractor Trailer. I'm offended.
Your own teammate on air. I like being against Big T opposed to being partnered with him.
Oh, you're going to like getting that free 5-stack he's going to give us. That's free.
That's true.
There's literally no chance we lose. Like, it's, just massive favorites over you guys.
No way. The line is minus 160 us right now.
Where do we bet that line? I want that. Who's the book on that one? Woo, 160. You got a football dude out there. He has to have the brokest. When are we getting him on the feed to answer? Because there's no way that guy doesn't have a broke jumper.
We'll get him on the podcast either next week or the week after.
Yeah, let us know which week. We'll get him on. He can talk some foot because he played football, so we'll get some good foot takes from him too. Tell him to answer on Twitter. I'm going to call him out. Tell him how broke his jump shot is.
I'll text him. I'll tell him to make sure he responds. He's a busy guy sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't respond if you don't have a blue check mark, so it's kind of hard.
Not all of us are on C-Dome's level. We're out here grinding.
Bro, listen, if we all rise together, everyone should get blue check marks. So
I'm in.
Let's go.
We'll see what happens.
All righty, boys. Let's get all that money this weekend. Thanks. It was fun as always. All right. Another fun week in the books. But like we said at the top, please go to the iTunes store or iTunes or the Google store or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Give us a subscribe if you like listening. It just helps us out with seeing the numbers and seeing a lot of that kind of stuff. We're going to do some sort of contest where if you subscribe, send us a picture on Twitter of leaving a review or something like that. We're going to throw everyone in a bucket. Maybe you'll make some picks. We'll send out some T-shirts. We'll get it all organized. But give us a subscribe. Take a picture of it. We appreciate that. And let's get these giblets this weekend.